Welcome, everyone. This is the weekly meeting of the Phrancko Sweater Knitters, and we meet every Saturday at 2:30 Pacific time. And anyone is welcome to join us, especially if you're interested in knitting a Phrancko sweater, where you can generate a pattern at phrancko.com, spelled Phrancko.com. Don't forget the CKO.com. Hi, Wally.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Will.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Judith.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Sidra.
Hello.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, all.
Hi, Serena.
Hello.
Hi, Rana.
Hello.
Hi, Jenny.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi.
And before we started the recording, we were welcoming Rana back, who hasn't been with us for a while. So it's so nice to have you back, Rana.
Thank you so much. I've missed you all and your happy faces and good conversation.
Well, as I was also saying, I am confident that we now have a yoked sweater pattern available. It is not yet available to the public online, but I have almost finished mine. It's all the way down. I've got one more inch before I start the ribbing. I was trying desperately to get it finished this week, but I didn't make it. The sleeves are already done, so the body just needs to be completed. And it's fitting fine. And Judith completed one and hers fits well. So I thought I would ask if anyone in this group would be interested in knitting us the pattern again, just as another test. Maybe two of you using different yarns, perhaps, and let's just get more experience under our belt. So I'm really confident when I make it public on the website. So you can think about it and tell me later, or you can jump at the chance now and say, I want to. Does anybody want to knit a yoke sweater?
I'd like to.
Who said
But
that?
I have to finish. That's Kathy.
Kathy. Hi, Kathy.
Yes,
Yes.
Sidra.
I wouldn't be able to do it till January. I need to finish this sweater first.
Certainly.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't either be able to do it till then. I bought yarn for it when you first announced it.
You didn't know it was going to be 6 months before you could start.
No,
I didn't either at that time.
And the yarn is gone, but we can always get more. So.
Yes. Uh-oh, yarn doesn't sit around long for Rana, I guess.
No,
Sidra, did you say something too?
I'd like to do it too.
You'd like to do it too? That's great. Okay. What I need you all to do is to go on to the website and create, do your swatch. You can do this in January. There's no rush here. But do your swatch, of course. Get your measurements, of course. Go to the website and create a crew neck sweater pattern. And then note the sweater number and email me or put it in chat at the next meeting, the sweater number. So I can go behind the scenes and turn that crew neck sweater pattern into a yoked sweater pattern.
Got it.
Okay. Is there anything in particular that you want us to try doing, or just, is it okay to come up with a kind of a fanciful idea, or do you want just
anything you want to do?
Okay.
And the pattern is written in a way that it's expected that you will add some sort of color work or cabling work or something that will accentuate the yoke, but you don't actually have to. You can just do a solid sweater if you want that happens to have the yoke construction.
I bought a whole lot of yarn when we were in the Shetland Islands.
Oh, nice.
So I want to do the color work pattern. I already know what I want to do.
Oh, good.
Sort of. I mean, I have to come up with a design, but the colors I have, the yarn I have, so. Good.
Frank, what weight yarn do you think would be best?
I don't know. I've done it with a worsted weight. Judith, yours was, I think, a
Was
Balti.
also,
Oh,
no,
it was
it was
also
also
worsted?
worsted.
Okay.
Yep. It was a Cascade 220 worsted.
Oh, so was mine.
Okay,
Yes, yours was a superwash.
Yes,
if I'm
mine
not-
was the Cascade Superwash Merino Superwash. 220
Okay.
Merino, I think they call it.
And mine will be a fingering weight.
So would
Oh,
mine.
that'd be
Mhm.
awesome.
Well, that'll be interesting. Yeah.
I can talk my
Yes.
daughter her yarn, then it would be, might be a DK, or it could be a fingering.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Judith, how
It'll be
many?
interesting to see. I mean, you have to realize this is still an experiment, and we only know now that it works for the worsted weight. So
Right.
if you choose a different weight, which I hope you will, then we'll have more experience with other weighted yarns.
Okay. Judith, how many in total did you knit?
How many?
Uh-huh. How many
How many?
starts?
How many starts?
Yeah, it's a better way to put it.
You mean
In the yoke sweater. I know
different tries? Different.
Yes, different yolks.
I stopped counting. I would say more than 6. Am I right, Frank?
I believe so, and I did, I believe, 8 to 10 myself.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
more like it. Yes, because
Yeah,
I also tried with another yarn, the gray one,
uh-huh.
and came back to the green one. So yeah, most likely 8, 10 tries. Yeah.
I have a stack of thrown away yolks that's like this thick, piled up.
due diligence, wonderful.
Yes.
Hmm.
So let me try to describe the pattern for those of you who are going to knit it. The yoke is in the round from the bottom of the ribbing. You cast on below which would be below the ribbing. You're going to add the ribbing later. You cast on there. It's done completely in the round out to the tops of the shoulders only. It doesn't continue in the round. Well, it does continue in the round, but the yoke itself only goes out to the outer edge of the shoulders, which is, it's a Phrancko sweater with Phrancko set-in sleeves. So the shoulders are not very wide. The increases that are described in producing that yoke need to be worked in somewhat the same order. You may modify them somewhat. You don't have to place them where the pattern places them. The pattern places them so that there are 2 bands that go across the shoulder that do not increase, and all the increases occur on the front and the back. So that makes kind of a saddle shoulder for the yoke, which you can use if you want a pattern that goes across the top of the shoulders and down the sides of the arm, or you can ignore that and just do a pattern that ends there if you want. You could also divide you can divide the increases so that there are 3 panels on the front, or if you want to do something more creative than that, you could. What I did for the one that I did, it was a solid yoke, so I put the increases just random places across the front of the yoke and the back of the yoke. So there's a variety of ways to do the increases. You could also collect different rows of increases and say, well, it says to do 3 increases on the front on this row and 2 rows later, but I want to do 6 increases on the front on the row in between, and then or before, you can move them up and down a little bit to group them into larger groups. So you might have a band that has no increases that actually doesn't show in the pattern as it is. So I believe you can move the increases around in those kinds of ways, either grouping them vertically or horizontally, preserving the saddle shoulder architecture or ignoring it. So there's a lot of variation there, but there is some restrictions in that you have to maintain, you have to start with the same number of stitches here. You have to end up with the same number of stitches at the outer edge, and you should increase at something close to the same rate that the pattern indicates.
So do you have a stitch count as to where you should be at approximate row?
No, you have to look at the pattern and figure it out.
Okay.
What
The
type-
pattern is written row by row. It isn't like all the other patterns that say do every third row 5 times. It's like do an increase on the second row and then the fourth row and then the fifth row and then the eighth row and so forth. And each increase row has, as it's written, has 3 increases on the front and 3 increases on the back.
Frank, what type of increase did you use?
I used a make one right, but
Okay.
if you're going to do something that will actually accentuate the divisions, you might want to do them in pairs and one up at the shoulder. And
Mhm.
but then you also have to make sure it doesn't come to a point when that stops, which was one of the problems we had when I was originally doing it. I was doing 2 increases side by side. Maybe make myself bigger so you can see me pointing to myself. Let's see, how do we do that? Spotlight for everyone. There. If we start with and try to do 2 angles of stitches, increases going out like that, you would put 1 increase at each on the front of each shoulder. I can't do this. Maybe I should reverse myself so I can know where I'm pointing. Do 1 increase on the front of each shoulder, and then 1 increase on each side of the 2 angles. The angles that are like this. But then when you get to the end of the increases, the last couple of rows of increases, you want to spread them out more so they're not right at that bar that gets created when you put them right together. Because if you leave them right at the bar, then in the next round when it's flat, it makes kind of a peak.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can play with the increases and figure out what you want to do with them, or you can write them as the pattern says. The pattern actually gives you 2 choices, and I think, or maybe I rewrote it to only do the 1 choice of random. I forget how I ended up. I changed it so many times. But if you have any questions about if your idea will work, you can ask me and we will work together and see how to make it work.
Okay.
So I'm really excited to have more people knit it. And Judith, you can knit another one too if you want to.
Yes, remember I had planned for another one in fingering weight.
Yes.
But I have to sit down and plan a pattern inside the pattern.
Yes,
Right.
that's right.
So I don't know when, but it's still on my list. Yeah. Thank you for the offer.
Oh, by the way, nobody has to pay for that pattern that you're going to do. If you're going to do a pattern before you pay for it, I will send you a coupon that will give you the pattern for free. So don't buy the pattern, even though I just told you to go buy a pattern for a crew neck. You can create the pattern, but don't buy it. And let me know the sweater number, and I will convert it and also give you a coupon to get the pattern for free. I
It-
appreciate
it has-
anyone who wants to do this experiment because you have to understand it may not work the first time and we may have to work on it some more. But I'm pretty confident now. We've done so many yokes. I think we've got it right.
And it has to start from a crew neck, correct?
Actually, it doesn't matter what kind it is because
Okay.
I'm going to convert it to a yoke. And as long as the measurements and the gauge are all right, it's just easier if everybody does the same thing. But
Yeah, makes sense.
it doesn't matter that it's crew neck or saddle shoulder or V neck before I convert it to yoke because all of that goes away and it becomes a yoke pattern.
Yeah, okay.
The other difference you'll notice from other Phrancko sweaters you've knitted is that when you are doing the sleeve caps, they are also described round by round. And so there's none of this that all the other patterns have, would say, do it every other row for 5 times, then do it every third row for 4 times, and then do it, you don't have to take the instructions and write out your own instructions. You can actually use the pattern and mark each line as you do it. It's row
Thanks.
by row, round by round.
Terrific.
Sidra, Rana, I know we've been communicating on my business address, frank@phrancko.com. I don't mind saying that on the website.
Uh-huh.
But for more direct communication, can you see the chat? I'm going to write in the chat my personal email.
I think I have your personal email.
Okay, well, that's the one we should all communicate on, so I don't go a week without seeing your email.
Okay.
I'll write it in chat for everyone again anyway. All of
Okay.
you are free to use this anytime. Don't say it out loud.
Yeah.
Did we say hello to everyone? I don't remember saying hello to Jenny. Were
Yes,
you
you
here?
did.
Yeah, we did.
You did?
We did, yeah.
And Mary, did I say hello to you?
No, because I had a hard time. I could not get you on my iPad. I'm on my computer. So
Oh,
I had
well,
I don't know what's wrong with the iPad, but I've tried and tried and tried. Well, I started at 2:15 and never did make it. And so I'm late getting in here. But hello.
hello.
Hi.
I'm Mary.
Hi, Mary.
I don't know what's wrong with my iPad. It may, no, it's just, I don't know. It's one of those mysteries of cyber.
Yeah, you may notice that I don't have the orange label that says Phrancko.com at the bottom of the screen that I usually have. And that's because I couldn't get OBS to work with Zoom today. I mean, just one of those mysteries. It has worked perfectly every time. And all of a sudden today, I turned on the virtual camera and Zoom didn't see it.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only problem for the day.
Certainly not.
Probably a Zoom enhancement.
Exactly.
Yes.
It was a Zoom update that took away our ability to do something I was doing a lot.
Well, I had to do a Zoom update just, I want to say like 2 days ago or something.
I did too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. I
Yeah,
didn't
so
see
that
that.
might be the thing on the iPad that you might have to update to have it work.
I didn't see
Is that-
anything that led me to do that, to
Hmm.
send.
Well, sometimes on the iPad, it doesn't say it that you have to do it. You'll have to like go in the
App Store.
Apple Store or whatever and look at it. Now, where on my computer, it tells
Oh.
me, it's like, oh, there's the new one. You have to update before we're going to boot you.
Oh, okay. So I go to the Apple Store.
Yeah,
App Store.
it's the
Mhm.
App Store on the App Store where you download apps on your
Okay, yeah.
iPad. and search for Zoom. And when you see it there, it will, if it needs to be updated, it will say update. Otherwise, it will just say open.
Okay.
I'm on the iPad and I just go to the forum and the link. No problem.
Hmm. So you didn't have trouble, Rana.
No, not at all.
Well, what's
That-
everyone working on?
A big swatch. I bought, I think it was in April last year, I bought some, well, I don't have it, Jody Long and the Ammo Light.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm swatching to see what my gauge is with stockinette stitch.
What size needles are you using, Judith?
4.5. I'm a loose knitter.
Well, I
So-
think that's what size I think I actually use an 8 on it,
And what's
which would be a 5.0, which is an 8.
yeah, that's what's recommended on the label.
Yeah, well, I tried, I think 3 different sizes. I think I tried a 7, 8, and 9. So that'd be a 4.5, a 5.0, and a 5.5. And I liked the
fabric.
the 5.0 better. I like the fabric. The other one for me, it was a little too stiff
Yeah.
that I didn't quite like it.
Oh, okay. And
But everybody's different. It's just you have
Yeah.
to choose which one you like.
yeah, that's why we have Frank helping us build
That's
our
right.
custom
That's why we have to use Frank's
That's a nice
Frank's
plug right
pattern,
there
because
for you,
otherwise
Frank.
we'd all be able to always get gauge, right? Doesn't that just happen to everybody?
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
yeah, it said
Mm.
use a size 4. I
Mm.
used a size 4 and it worked not perfectly.
And I'm doing it on the spinach color.
Oh,
I don't know
that's-
if it's
Oh.
showing,
Oh,
right?
nice.
Yeah.
That was the one that Sumner knit with, and he
Yes,
really liked the
I
color. It turned out
remember.
really lovely. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with me. Everything, not everything, but I've bought a lot of green yarn and I have nothing green in my wardrobe, you know. My sister gave me this yarn, which is green. The sweater I did with the yoke pattern is green. This is green. So this is my green phase.
It's the green season. It's the green season. We just are finishing having the bathroom remodeled, and it's the tile is all gray and white. It's mostly white, but with a little bit of gray in it. But then it was like, oh well, I think we're going to paint the walls this kind of. It's a very pale sage green, and it's lovely. So it's like, and we've never had anything green. I mean, we live in a log house, and so sometimes we'll have the walls that are either like a couple of the interior walls are either white or something really bright, but we've never had. But it's appealing. It's warm. It's kind of outdoorsy. It has that nice feel. So, yeah. Green is very in, I think.
I've just
Frank,
got to the end
you
of the
had-
row, so I'll show you what I'm still
Okay.
working on
Sure,
my
Jenny.
Wait a minute.
mitered. Yeah,
Wait.
yeah, I'm waiting.
Jenny was speaking, but I think Cindy was also still asking a question.
No, I wasn't asking a question.
But no, okay.
I was still saying that you had posted the picture from last week's one with the snapshot of me
Of you holding up your swatch,
of
yes.
holding the thing, and so I was going to hold it up again because I knew I'd started it a little over a week ago, but I didn't realize how much I'd done. So this is how long it is now. It's about 22 inches. So
Oh, wow.
it's coming
Oh.
really good.
Now,
Whereas
see,
the
I should use
picture-
that picture again.
So anyway, it's pretty funny. I thought that was great. When I was looking to sign on today. I thought, you can tell I actually worked this week.
All right. Now, Jenny, what's up?
Yes, so go on. I've just got to the end of a row, so I'm still working on my mitered
Oh.
shawl.
Oh, that's so
I'm
beautiful.
just going to
Oh,
do
wow, look at that.
The
That
colors
is
are so
coming out so
gorgeous.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Oh.
it's growing. So I'm just coming to the end of the first ball of wool.
Oh, wow.
And then I need to work out, I've got one more of the same colorway. And I don't need to see how much it'll grow by if I do that as well. So, yeah, it's getting there.
And
Wow.
so all
really
those
great.
colors are in the same ball of yarn.
Yes. If you look, you can see the progression of the colors, but it
Yeah, I
going
see.
across. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So
Oh,
you can see the
yeah.
progression of,
So it's just a really, really long gradient, right?
yeah. So it's
How it's doing?
a
Okay.
Zower ball. Is that how you pronounce it? A Zower ball?
Oh, Zauberball.
Oh, Sauerball,
I think
yes.
so.
Yeah. Yes. So it's not actually that long. So you get about 2 squares out of each color, and then it morphs into the next color as it goes along.
All right.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And
So
what weight is that, Jenny?
this is fingering weight.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So
I love it.
Yeah,
thank
it's
you.
very pretty, yeah.
So I could share mine.
All right.
I hope it'll be done by next week. In fact, I know it will be, but
Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
yay!
oh,
Your
nice.
sleeve
Look
is
at that.
done on the one side and the
Wow.
bottom is done.
Yeah. Mm.
Love the color.
Gorgeous.
The
That's
colors on that are
Nice.
just so pretty, Sidra.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
Yes.
it's beautiful.
Yes.
I had hoped it would be done, but it's not. Next week,
So,
But you made a lot of progress. You made a lot of progress.
from when we talked on Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like the cuff is done. That one sleeve is all done in the cuff, and you're a long ways on the other sleeve.
Yeah. So
Wow.
looking forward to it.
It's always fun when you're at the very end.
yeah.
And the other thing I did I think it was on Kathy's group, that we talked about ribbing, and I've been doing like Suzanne's type of ribbing where you pull on the purl side, and it looks okay. And then I decided to try the pearl in the back, and it looks so much better, so much tighter.
Pearl, I'm sorry, pearl in
Oh,
the
gosh,
back.
that's pretty.
Pulling in the back on your rib. So it's a huge difference, actually.
So are you wrapping the pearl the backwards way, or
No, I'm
is
just
it a twist? Is
going
it
into
actually a twisted?
I'm twisting it.
Okay, so it's a
Oh,
twisted rib. Okay,
Yeah. I purl into the back on that one, and it works really well.
it's really nice.
Much more snug.
It may not be as stretchy. Have you found that? Or can you tell that?
No, I think it's
Still
fine.
stretchy. Okay, good.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
the knit stitch is done on the front loop, and the purl stitch is
in the
done
back.
in the back.
Yeah.
So is there a big difference between this way and
Just
doing it? I'm not doing it when you knit to the back loop and purl to the front loop. Would it be an equal result?
I don't know, because my pearls are usually looser, and I think most pearls
Okay.
are looser.
The public and
Well-
private would be different.
Yeah, because the way that wraps, you wrap
Yeah.
like 1.5 times or something.
Right, right.
on a pearl.
Judith, if you did what you said, the ribbing would show twisted stitches on the right side.
Right.
And what she's doing twists the purl stitches, which don't really show in the grooves of the ribbing, I
Right.
think. But if you looked at the inside, you'd see twisted stitches on the pearls.
Yeah.
I understand. Okay.
And
But don't do that for TKGA.
no, that is not
The
a,
levels, do not do it. You can do whatever you want for your personal knitting, and that is totally fine. But do not do it for TKGA. They'll send it back.
Oh, really?
it's not the way to get rid of
Well-
the gaps on. The issue that is being addressed is when you have a purl stitch after a knit stitch, and there's a kind of a gap that forms on one side of the purl stitch or one side of the knit stitches of ribbing or something like that. And you can see these extra large gaps on one side of each rib. And the fix to that, other than what Sidra's doing, is when you go to purl, you give a little tug to the working yarn, so it pulls the stitch all the way forward when you wrap the stitch. And then that will eliminate that extra yarn between the knit and the purl stitch.
Yep.
Wow.
You can actually see when you pull that through. And I remember when I was first learning to knit, I didn't have anybody to ask, and I knew I was supposed to do knit, purl, knit, purl. And I noticed when I did the purl, I could either pull it and pull it so I could see something come through. It's hard to describe, or not pull it enough to see that come through. And I wasn't sure which was the better way to do it. And you actually want to pull it until you see the stitch starting to pull through the gap, and then wrap the stitch. I don't know if I can describe it. Maybe I should do a video
The
to show
reason
it.
for that is when you're just like knitting along, you're always going all the way around. You're doing all the way around 360 degrees, all the way around the needle. And if you're just purling along, you're doing the same thing all the way around, all the way around. But when you move from knit to purl, where you have to move your yarn from the back to the front, you have that extra little bit, then plus the all the way around. And so that gives you a little bit of a loosey-goosey in between the knits and the purls. That's what causes it.
My, you must be a master knitter.
No, I'm not, and I'm still procrastinating. I haven't started the vest.
That was a
And I
master
decided I'm
knitter
just-
explanation.
I decided I'm just chicken to do it. It's like it's the last thing. Everything else is done, and I'm just like, oh, I can't do it.
Oh, no.
So Norwegian Pearl would not correct that?
I don't know
Considering
about
you'd be on
Norwegian
the
Pearl.
hive.
I do not know.
The Norwegian Pearl, what it does or seems to do is it just puts a little extra tension on your yarn all the time.
Okay.
And so it has that extra little pull on it so that you don't have that little gap of yarn. That's what happens with the Norwegian Pearl.
Right. But it's so
Is
many,
my understanding.
yeah, and so many other movements with that too. So
Yes.
Either that or I knit continental combined. So I wrap my pearls the wrong way and then untwist them on the way back, and that has the same effect because you're not
Yes, that
Like
is another solution.
When you wrap them the other way, then again you are using that little tiny bit less yarn instead of a little tiny bit more yarn, which gives the looseness.
Yeah.
When you wrap it the wrong way, does it change the look on the front?
Yes, you have to untwist them on the way back.
Did you okay.
But when the finished fabric is not changed,
Right.
because the stitch is oriented differently. The purl stitches get oriented differently than the knit stitches. So you knit the knit stitches through the front loop, but then do you purl through the back?
back loop on the pearls, yeah.
No,
Or
you'll
is it the
on the
opposite?
back side, on the back side, because when you do knit and purl, and so you're doing knit and then you wrap your purl the opposite way, and then
Uh-huh.
when you work back from the other side, that purl is going to be a knit,
Mhm.
You're picturing
and
it
so
knitting
you
flat.
work into the
Right.
back. You work into the back of the
But what
Yeah,
if
the
the
you
back of the stitch.
If you're in the
what
round, it's different.
what if you're doing it in the round? Then are you purling into the back?
You would have
Um,
to, yeah.
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 Mhm.
Mhm.
Which is what I'm doing. Think.
Is that what you're doing?
Think.
Well, but you are doing it into the back, but from what you're saying, how you do it, Sidra, you don't reorient the stitch. You don't remount the stitch. You're actually leaving the twist in.
Correct.
Oh, right.
So that's the difference.
Jenny, I'm missing your little man on the wall.
Oh, yeah, he's on the other side of the room.
Is that the tuna guy?
No, that's not the tuna. That is hang on a minute. I'll take my phone over and show you. This is the ugly big nose man. Hold on a minute.
The ugly big nose man.
You'll see what I mean. Hang on a minute. There he is.
Oh,
Yes.
there he is.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Look at
Ugly big nose man.
that.
There is some similarity with the ducks in the chickens in Chicken Run.
I thought you were going to say with me for a minute.
No, come on.
We're nice to one another. We wouldn't say that, at least not when you were here.
Glad he's well.
Yes, he's fine, yeah. I always worry when I dust him whether he's going to sneeze when I stick the duster under his nose.
Yeah.
Who else has something to share with us?
Well, I started the last front on the kimono sweater. So when I finish the last front, I will do the sleeves and put it together.
Wonderful.
Oh, good.
There it is.
Ah,
Oh,
I love that yarn.
You.
I do too.
it's pretty.
That would look good in a yoke sweater, maybe.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Judith, I thought of a name for your sweater.
Which one? The green one?
The green one with the white.
I mean, not this one. The yoke.
Not that one. The one, the yoked one with the white.
I'm
dot.
listening.
Snowdrops.
Oh,
They look like snowdrops on a green field.
Oh,
Oh,
that's nice.
that's cool.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
nice idea.
So anytime you want to publish that pattern.
Oh no,
Yeah.
never thought of that.
Well, you
No,
could
then
have
it
knit
wouldn't-
with.
Well, yeah, she could, but no, she couldn't because that's the yoked, and I don't have that on Knitwiz.
Oh, you don't have that one yet.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
But if you want help and you do decide you want to publish it, I can help.
No, but if you want to use my idea, I wouldn't mind.
Mm-mm. The only way I'd do it is if I'd said something like Snowdrops by Judith with permission.
Oh.
But then, it wouldn't
Or
be
you
a
could do,
kind.
it could be snowdrops inspired by an original Judith design.
Of course.
Yes.
This is funny. We're just kind of
Copy.
giggling. Do you hear what
Plagiarized.
this sounds like? We're just all giggling. Love it.
Well, I'm working on a pair of socks again. And I've got one of them finished.
All right.
Are
Oh,
these
look
Oh.
at that.
That's
Oh, wow.
Pretty.
Oh,
Look.
that,
Oof.
Is that your
Chef
third
d'oeuvre.
pair in a row?
What's it look like on the inside?
Let me turn it inside out.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Look at
Wow.
that.
Very
Yeah.
neat and tidy on the inside.
Yeah. So I've got the second one on the needles, and I hope to finish it tomorrow.
Wow.
Wow.
For a
Then
minute
you-
there, it looked like your dark round was going to use 3 colors, but now I see it's dark between the diamonds too. So it's really still a 2-color round, right?
That's what I was wondering,
Correct.
Frank. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yes, never more than 2 colors in a round, but 3 colors total.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's not my design. I mean, I changed the heel, but the stitch pattern, it's called the mini ply, MINIPLI sock, if anyone is interested. It's somewhere on Ravelry.
Pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
Very
it.
nice.
I'll knit more of them.
Is this a present too?
These are for me.
Ah.
they look like you.
Yeah, I kind of thought so too.
In the description of the last 2 videos I've posted, I have announced the special meeting we're having on January 6th, but let me just say it now. So if anybody's listening to this and didn't read the description, we're going to have a special meeting for anyone who is interested in joining us on January 6th at, I think I said 10:30 Pacific time.
Yes.
And it will not be recorded and it will not be published on the web. So anyone who is reluctant to come because they don't want to be recorded can come to that meeting instead. Or if this one is just at the wrong time, we invite you to come at a different time. And we will see if anyone shows up other than you regulars. If it's only regulars that show up that morning, after about 10 minutes, we're going to say, okay, we'll see you at 2:30 this afternoon, and we'll shut the meeting down. So if you want to come in the first 10 minutes of that meeting to let us know that you're interested in doing that. So I just want to spread the word about it. So anyone interested can show up 10:30, January 6th, I believe it is.
Yep.
Yes, January
Mhm.
6th. Pacific time, 10:30.
Frank, what are you working on?
I'm finishing my first yoked sweater and I keep showing it week after week after week. There's nothing else to show except it's just longer than it was last week. I can show you the pictures of it again. That would be the easiest thing for me. Maybe not. Talk among yourselves while I look for the pictures. Oh, there they are. Got it. There.
There you go.
Yeah, that
Nice.
looks nice.
Mm.
Nice.
Mhm. That does look very, very nice.
Mhm.
Ah.
And so what I worked on this week is below the bottom of the picture. So that's why this is this is still relevant.
Did you schedule the yellow part of it, the solid yellow, on purpose to a certain length?
That solid yellow is where the actual yoke is. There's nothing unusual about it. It's just a yoke that comes out to the outer edge of your shoulders.
Okay, you
And so
weren't
that's what I
after.
meant. The original, the yoke part is that. The rest
Okay.
is still yoke-like, except that I have these increases that create
Right.
these faux seams of the set-in sleeve.
Right. Cool.
But it's still yoke-like, and if you do a pattern, the pattern can start in the solid yellow part and extend down into the chest area in the yellow and blue part.
Right.
So, and it can also go across the shoulder and down the sleeve. But you're going to have to plan it pretty carefully because
Right.
the seams will distort any pattern that is hitting the seam.
Hmm.
So
What was
that's
the
why, I'm sorry.
What was the maximum number of increases on any one row?
Six.
I've done it so many times, I don't remember where I ended up, but there is a specific number. Just a minute. I will be right back. I mean, I'm not going anywhere. I'm looking at something else online.
Maximum increases in one row? I would say six.
In the yoke, it's 3 increases on the front and 3 increases on the back.
Okay.
And then
then there's no more
right.
increases.
There's three increases on the front. And the reason I'm confused is that the original way I wrote the pattern was I combined those rows to make 6 increases on the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, that's what I did. So, this version that I ended up with spreads the increases out over more rows, twice as many rows. So there's only 3 across each one, but you could combine them back and do 6 on a row if you want to.
Okay.
Just make sure you end up doing the same number of increases. And if you combine two rows that say knit 3 on the front and on the back, then skip the next time it says do knit 3 on the front and back. So it'd be that simple to change it to 6.
Okay.
And it would also work. That
Yeah.
would be a minor change to the algorithm.
Okay.
I believe that this is in effect the simplest pattern for anyone to knit, except that it leaves all the design work up to you. And so the complicated part is what you're going to have to do. But if you just want a solid yoke constructed sweater that's simple to knit, that this is the pattern for you. It tells you what to do on every single row.
Am I correct in you're not knitting any flat part on this? You're completely in the round?
That is 99.9% true. The only way to make the back stand up higher than the front is to do short rows across the back.
Yeah,
So
and that's
as the pattern is written is usually about 6 short rows. So you do have to knit across and purl back 6 times.
yeah, that's an important part of it though.
Yes, it is. But that's a lot easier than all of the stuff you have to do on the sides of the neck for all the other styles of Phrancko sweaters.
Right. Terrific.
So who else have we not heard from?
Me.
Wally.
Wally. Wally, let's.
I'm crocheting a scrap blanket.
Cool.
Oh,
Cozy
Very
blanket.
Oh, that's big.
Yeah, well, it's a lap blanket, but it's for a Christmas gift. So I'm almost done with it.
Oh, that's very
did you do
fun.
all that in the last week? I didn't see that last week.
Yes. Yeah. No, I started this
my
week.
My
gosh.
goodness.
I crochet fast.
Yeah.
I guess you do.
You're on fire.
It's an easy stitch. It's only a single crochet and a chain stitch, and that's what it is. So I got all this yarn. I
Wally?
said, yes.
You're really fast at crochet because I don't crochet at all. So I gave you all my crochet mojo.
Thank you. Well, I crocheted a lot longer than I did knitting, so.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah, so. I only started knitting maybe 15 years ago.
Hmm.
So. And I finally retired at a Home Depot, so I no longer work.
Right.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so they didn't like me leaving, but it's time to go. I was only going to stay there for 2 years, and I ended up there 11. So,
Kind of overstayed, huh?
yeah, overstayed. So,
Did I hear you say that you supplied a lot of pizza?
yes, I bought 5 pizzas for the guys that night, and with that, 2 dozen Zeppelis, 4 bottles of soda, and the girls brought 2 cannoli cakes.
Oh my gosh.
So, but they all ate it all up.
Sounds like fun.
It was,
Sounds like you're going to have a lot more time to knit now, Wally.
Yeah,
well,
no
yeah.
more excuses.
No. Get rid of all this yarn I have. Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Who else have we not heard from? Serena, have we heard from you?
Well, I'm not knitting at the moment, but I finished the red hoodie. It's on Ravelry
Oh, yeah.
if you want. So I'm done with hoodies for a while.
Let me see if I can find it. Anyone
So
else?
how many hoodies did you do, Serena?
3.
3. Wow.
3. Yeah. Wow. How cool.
And they're already in the mail, so I can't show
Wow.
it to you. The white one was kind of a test knit, so I don't know what will happen with that, but the other 2 are in the mail.
Good for you.
Were they all done in a
Lovely
round?
gifts.
They're yes, because they're Frank's pattern.
Okay.
So of course you do the shoulders like his set-in sleeves, which
Mhm.
is kind of flat at
Mhm.
first,
Mhm.
and then you join it in the round.
All right.
Here we are.
The hood does take quite a bit of extra yarn though, and I did run out of yarn on the red hoodie, but I got it. It wasn't old yarn. I had just purchased it, so I was able to get
Ah,
some more.
look at that. That's nice. Yeah.
Mhm.
They're so
Wow.
much fun.
Oh, that's
There's
beautiful.
the
And
back.
it's gorgeous. Yeah. The color, that's really nice.
There's going to be a lot of nice warm hands.
And here's her green one.
Oh, wow. There you go, Judith. You got another green one to go.
And here's a little white one.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Look
that's
at
pretty
that.
too.
Yeah, the
You
color
mentioned-
is so nice.
You mentioned something about how you did the top on all of them.
Well, that white one, I did the 3 needle bind off,
yeah.
so the seam showed on the outside, but I
Right.
didn't like it, so I switched it and redid it. So all of them have I used 3 needle bind off on all the hoods, which you could have used Kitchener too, but
You did. This one's 3 needle bind off.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm not seeing any indication
Any
of
seam,
seam at
yeah.
all.
It's the other way around,
What can
right?
I tell you? I'm just so good.
There
No, there's a
Well,
little bit.
There it is.
There's a little bit
You're a
there. Yeah.
professional
Yeah.
hand knitter.
It's just the photography, I'm sure.
No, you're a professional hand knitter. You have your little certification. You're good. You're a good knitter.
I have to say I'm very thrilled with how I worked out how to do that kangaroo pocket. Did you
Oh,
have any
it's-
trouble following the directions?
On the first one I did, and it's not because of your directions, it's just because you have to read carefully, and it's kind of different because you're dealing with 2 sets of needles and you're
Yeah.
you're knitting the front set and then the back set and then the front set, I think, or something like that. So it is a little mind blowing for somebody like me, but
That's right.
I loved it. It was fun.
I thought it was fun too. It's you switch which one is going around the body right at the point where the openings change. And I was surprised how well it worked. First of all, I'm always surprised when I do something that works. But once I got it all worked out, I loved how it worked, and I hope that I described it well enough so people could follow the instructions.
Oh, your instructions were excellent and efficient. I thought that was just amazing that you didn't put more in there than needed to be in there, but it's important for the person knitting it to read them.
Very carefully, line by line, word by
Yeah.
That's right. I wrote them very precisely. Do this with this needle and then do this with this needle.
Yeah, I thought that I didn't find any errors or anything. It was just my my brain that got a little mixed up at first, but
Well, I'm glad you worked it out.
it's fun to kind of test one, you know.
And thank you for sharing that with us.
No, you're welcome.
So let's see, Kathy, have we heard from you? You're muted.
You haven't heard from me because I'm still working on the same thing, but I'm very close to the top, and it's going to be a saddle shoulder, and that will be different. There it is.
Wow.
Oh, that's gorgeous though.
That cable is just so
It's
thick
so
and
long.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So awesome.
It's this is almost 2 balls of yarn, and each ball is 328 yards. So, and he's only like, I mean,
Wow.
finished is 46 around, so he's not a real big guy, and it's just sucking up the yarn.
Wow.
So yeah, next week I'll be, well, if I'm here, I don't know if I'll be here because it's so close to Christmas, but I'll be on the sleeves because I need a break from doing all this cabling.
I was just going to ask you, were you going to cable the sleeves?
No, I'm gonna see the sides. The sides aren't cabled. They're
Okay.
they're just a
There
mock
you go.
rib.
All
So
right.
the sleeves, the whole sleeve is going to be a mock rib, and then the mock rib comes up all along the shoulder.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So just the front and the
And-
back.
When you do
So
a cable, do you
what's a
use a
mock
cable
rib?
needle? Or
No,
no?
no.
Just
This
swap
is
needle.
I mean, it's a combination of cable and traveling, stitches, and
I see.
I always try to do a left cross. So I can drop the stitches in front.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah, if anybody wants to do a right cross, more power to them, but not me. Not unless I have to.
I have the
So-
same question as Cindy's.
What's
What is
that?
a mock rib?
Mhm, yeah.
Oh, on the right side you just knit,
Yes.
and on the wrong side you knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl.
Oh,
So
okay.
it makes like a broken rib, but it's
Yes,
I think it's really attractive.
mais oui. Oui.
Maybe it's called a broken rib some places.
I heard that name too, but I didn't know it was the
Yeah.
same things.
It might be
Okay.
I think it might be the same.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, it's time for us to say goodbye. Does
All
anybody have
right.
anything else they want to say before we do the final? Anybody?
No, we're good.
It's
Okay.
good to see you all.
Sorry?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
so
good.
glad you were here, Rana.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good to
yes.
hear from you, Rana.
Yeah, you guys are terrific.
Wonderful. Have
Merry
a great week.
Christmas.
Yeah.
See you all
Take it
next
easy.
week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a nice
Bye.
week, everyone.
Bye-bye.